Hey everybody, it's the Boss Lady here, coming to you with Talk About It Tuesday. I wanted to kind of piggyback off of last week's Talk About It Tuesday, not so much the vacation piece, but the piece about unplugging yourself when on vacation. But I don't want to just kind of keep it at vacation level. I want to keep it just across the board, everyday life. I've been noticing lately that not so much myself, but other people are so consumed with, social media and, being on their phones or their tablets, their iPads, their computers, that they are just kind of disconnected from the world or disconnected from their families or disconnected from just, themselves, let alone, their spouses. And so I bring that up because when I was out of town and I had went to church, the pastor, he touched on a lot of different points, and his sermon was more about the table, and he was talking about, communion, and but he also, kind of brought up to speed to today's, society, where when we have dinner or breakfast or lunch, how we don't sit at the table and communicate. And he was saying that how back in the day, that's how you found out a lot of things, what was going on in everybody's day that day, or, what's going on in each other's lives. You could kind of pick up if somebody wasn't feeling, themselves the correct way or whatever. And so he brought up how in society today, everybody's so disconnected from each other because they're so connected to social media that, we don't have that sit down anymore, which I truly believe that is true. Now, maybe not all families, but I would say vast majority of families don't sit down and have dinner together. And I will be honest, my family is one of them. When Miss Peanut was smaller, when she was, a baby in a high chair or feeding chair, whatever, I noticed, she would get hungry before we would. So I would always feed her. But then when it came time for us to eat, she would either be running around or whatever. And then sometimes she would come, and want to, kind of get in our plate or whatever. And so I had changed up how we would feed her so that way we all sat down together. Now, we weren't necessarily sitting at a table. And I had brought up to you guys about, like my dining room chairs and how my dining room chairs have changed over the years. The chairs that we originally had with our table, I didn't care for. They were not set up for children, small children to sit in. They would, the design of the chair was it was just so that a small child couldn't sit in the chair appropriately. And so, we stopped sitting at the table. Then I got those other chairs that you guys saw in my earlier videos, the cream ones, and those were just like a temporary fix for what I wanted. And now we have the brown leather chairs that we have, that I got a few months ago that I just love. But even still, we're so conditioned of not sitting at that table and that table just being a decor piece that we still don't sit there. I mean, we had one real good sit down dinner that was for Boss Man's birthday, but since then we haven't sat at that table, which I want to get back into, maybe not every day, maybe just Sunday meals, I don't care, but something. Now we also have the table in the kitchen, and I had that table in the kitchen because of the original chairs that came with the dining room table. When we moved to the house, I needed somewhere for baby girl to sit at. And when she would have friends over, because my dining room table is glass, I didn't want the kids at my dining room table. So I, put a table in my kitchen. Well, we've had that table in the kitchen now we've been here 19 years. So we've had it maybe 16, 17 years, I believe. And over time, it just became like the kids' table. Well, now I'm getting into, we need to sit down here. And so I try to make an attempt that we eat together, a couple times a week. I did read a research paper that families had gotten away from sitting down together as a family, eating, not on social media, not watching TV, but sitting down as a family. And they were saying the way our lives are now, even if you do it a couple times a week, you don't have to do it every day, but a couple times a week, that makes a difference. And I believe that to be true. I know with our busy schedule during the school year, it's a lot tougher. You know, a lot of times, you know, Miss Pina and I, we're eating on the run, or, you know, I'm trying to hurry up and get boss man's dinner because, you know, we're doing whatever. And so, for Bossman and I will say, like, on Mondays when we have our Monday dates, we try to sit at the table and eat together. And, you know, whether it's breakfast or lunch or whatever, just so we have that one-on-one time. And then, you know, then we also try to sit down with Miss Pina, whether, like I said, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, even though dinner is more of the meal that most families sit down and eat together. My thing is, I don't care what the meal is, as long as we're sitting as a family. And so we are working on that. The other piece of that is we're working on, when we are sitting down together, that we're not on our phones, that we're not on our tablets or iPads or whatever, because that takes away from the communication within the family. You know, we, especially when we go on vacation, you know, and so that's why I'm kind of bringing vacation back into it. Because when we go on vacation, there is no choice. We're all together. We're all eating. We're all at the table. You know, and that's what I just love about when we go on vacation. So, you know, I've been trying to incorporate that here at home, and I just encourage other people to do that as well, because when I was listening to the pastor, you know, I also tuned into his sermon this past Sunday as well, and he still was talking about the table. I mean, he's on a series of the table. And so, like, the first Sunday was about communion and everything. I didn't catch last Sunday's sermon, but this past Sunday, he was talking about the table again, and, you know, just saying how, you know, us as families, we need to reconnect. And so that's something that's very dear to me, dear to my heart, because I do want to keep that connection, you know, as well as just not just at the table, but when we're out doing things. So, like, Sunday, it was Father's Day, and I enjoyed being able to spend time with Boss Man and us go away from the house, and we both left our phones at home. So there was no texting anybody. There was no calling anybody. There was no Instagram. There was no looking at YouTube. It was husband, wife, child. And Miss Pina was like, well, what are we going to do? You know, I mean, she was just kind of like, really? And it's not that we always give her tablet to, you know, go wherever we're going, but she just didn't know what we were doing. And I said, you know what, today we're spending time as a family, and that's just what it is. You know, she's used to just mommy and her going, you know, or if I'm leaving, you know, she's with her dad, but, you know, we're going to do something as a family, and we're going to do something that's just nothing. We're going to just spend time, you know. And so I like that. I like being able to do that, as well as, you know, just spending time with my husband without the phone. I posted something on Instagram yesterday, and now I'm kicking myself. I shouldn't have did that. I should have did it after the fact, I think. You know, I don't like people tracking my moves or, you know, trying to keep up with what I'm doing, so to speak. You know, if I put it out there, yes, but to me, I think that took away from Boss Man, even though, I mean, he saw me taking the pictures, he saw me posting to Instagram, whatever, but, you know, it was still taken away from us. And so, you know, I'm going to be more conscious of what I do and how I do it, just as well as he is more conscious of it. You know, when we want to go and just spend time, whether we're going up north or, you know, cross state lines, you know, we want to be more conscious of it. Just like, when we go on our trip in, a month and a half, you know, it's not going to be all about, oh, okay, well, let me do this, let me do that. I mean, granted, I'm going to still do what I need to do for my channel. You know, I'm going to do my hauls and stuff, but I may not post my hauls until I come back. You know, I may not post pictures until I come back. I may just take that time to say, you know what, this is family time. This is important to me. Let me be about my family. So, I encourage everybody to, you know, take that time and, you know, not be so, I gotta be on, you know, Facebook. I gotta be on Instagram. I gotta be, you know, take that time and really just be about your family, be about yourself. I know a few single ladies who, not in YouTube land, but just in general, and they're all about the social media because they're trying to find a mate. And I don't know, I guess because I've been out the dating game for, you know, 20 plus years. I just don't feel that's the way to go about it. But if it works for some people, hey, who am I to judge? But like I said, for myself and for my family, we're going to be more conscious of, all the posting and things of that nature. I mean, we both, have to work on our channels and stuff. We both have a channel, and, he's helping me grow every day with my stuff. And so, we collaborate that way. That might be the conversation for the hour or whatever. But, then we get back to each other, and so, yesterday was a great day. I had to work, and he was working too, but we were working side by side, and we were able to have conversation, and we were able to, kind of disregard what was going on in the outside world and just kind of tune into just us. And so, that's what I appreciate about my husband, because he will say, you know what, leave your phone at home. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? And it was hard. I mean, when we first left, I was okay with it. But then about 2 hours into it, I'm just like, I need my phone. I could be taking a picture of this and posting on Instagram. And he was just like, nope, the phone's at home. So, but I really want to be more conscious of, his and I time, her and I time. I don't want to take away from, the specialness that we are building, the bonding and the memories and things. And so, like I said, as far as like the table and eating, we are making more of a conscious effort. I know for Father's Day, I made breakfast, and, Miss Peanut wanted to eat in her room, and I said, no, sit at the table. We're going to eat as a family at the table. And it doesn't take long. I mean, you're eating, you're conversating, boom, you're done. So, and that's what I think is important for families to, just kind of keep that glue together. So that's my Talk About It Tuesday, guys. I just want to kind of just put it out there, stay off the social media, I guess. And then just be mindful of, what you're posting, and if you want everybody to know, or if you don't, or don't get upset when someone says something, or, whatever. But I am going to be more conscious about the different social medias that I'm a part of. And, just kind of, I don't want to mess up what I already have. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if people are more susceptible to it because maybe they don't have friends or whatever, or, their life may be boring. I don't know. Everybody's on social media for a whole bunch of different things. I know a lot is for dating, but, everybody's on social media for a lot of different things. So, you do what you will with it. But for me and my house, one, we're going to serve the Lord. Two, we're going to be conscious of what we're doing and what we're not doing, just so that we don't mess up our family and the glue that holds us together. So that's my Talk About It Tuesday, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I am going to be setting up some different playlists on my channel, so that way if I reference something, you can just go to the playlist and be able to find the videos. I started doing some playlists, and then I kind of, got tired of that, but I'm going to get back to it. I want to put all my tag videos in a playlist, and tablescape videos in a playlist, and things like that in my Talk About It Tuesday, since I've been doing that so much. So that way you can just kind of refer back to different videos at your leisure. But I'm going to go. So you guys have a great day, and I will see everybody in a new video. Bye!